Hey, it's Cranky Craig here with your latest movie review. Today I'm going to talk about a film called Weapons. I've noticed a trend with original movies at the cinema this year. By original, I mean not remakes, not franchises, not sequels, not your Aunt Betty's recipe for apple crisp. Sorry, just threw that in there. The trend for a better word is cross-genre. I think there's so much cross-genre going now in filmmaking, the word genre is just archaic. I'm using, for example, some recent films, Sinners, Eddington, and now Weapons. Films that are hard to classify but offer dazzling, risky storytelling. Zach Cregger, whose previous feature Barbarian is much beloved by horror fans, has written and directed a wildly entertaining horror, psychological thriller, dark comedy, mystery, a very weird-ass film. Set in a small city that looks both authentic, anonymous, and mysterious, 17 third graders suddenly disappear. They're all students, coincidentally, of Justine, an elementary school teacher who, despite being a concerned teacher, has a train wreck of a personal life. Three-time Emmy winner Julia Garner plays Justine. She's a sharp-edged, self-destructive woman. Oh, let me put on my big surprise face that this is a part that she would choose. Even though there's no evidence that she had anything to do with the disappearance of her students, she becomes a scapegoat for the angered parents and townsfolk, who are all weird. She is harassed, stalked, and her car is vandalized, and she isn't making too many friends. She doesn't have a lot of friends, and she's not making a lot more. One of her haters is Archer, a father of one of the missing kids, played convincingly by Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin has a way of just being menacing and dangerous without doing anything. But also he has a softer side to him, which he sometimes works on. It takes a bit of time for the structure of this movie to reveal itself, but when it does, Cregger uses a fluid timeline, and sections of the story are told from each person's point of view, overlapping points in the story. We have Justine's story, Archer's story, the principal's story, a local incompetent cop, a beleaguered, ineffective principal, and a homeless drug addict. All of their stories intertwine, and all these characters are deeply flawed, and their lives become more unraveled as the amount of time the students are missing increases, and each of their efforts don't get them any closer to solving the mystery. Things really pick up creepily when the arrival of the world's worst aunt, thank God there's one worse than my own, played by a very game Amy Madigan. Aunt Gladys and her bad wig and wild makeup will make your skin crawl and crawl and crawl. The only student in Justine's classroom who didn't disappear is Alex. And he knows from the very beginning that his Aunt Gladys is bonkers, if not downright evil. All stories lead back to one house and a surprise in the basement that is bizarre and horrifying. The power of this film is in its perilous storytelling and its bold choices. Complications and events turn and twist like a booby trap. Again, it's about the storytelling and being immersed in a cinematic experience. It certainly isn't about character empathy, of which there is very little, except for 8-year-old Alex, played very well by Carrie Christopher. Flaws and obvious choices really don't matter because Weapons, by the way, I have no idea what the hell that title means, are forgotten with the absolutely bonkers, hysterical ending, which lands really good. It'll have you laughing like crazy in the middle of a gore fest. It is this upending of storytelling and expectations that makes this film really work, and what makes the writer and director shine. He's got a lot of talent. I'm looking forward to seeing other things from him. You can check out more movie reviews and more arts and entertainment stories on Craig's to-do list at our website. Cranky Craig is going on vacation, so I'm a little less cranky. Bye.